Okay, the next thing that we're going to look at are the components of fitness. We used to have two types of these, skill related and health related. However, this year on the new course, they're all merged into one. We do keep them split though, just to help us learn them. So the first one we look at is the acronym that we use for it is Fat Men Munch Cakes. These used to be the health ones, ironically. So, F stands for flexibility. This is the amount or range of movement around a joint. Basically, you know, if I wasn't flexible in my arm here, I'd only be able to get it to there and back down. Good flexibility allows that range of motion around the joint. Okay? Good test for this one, sit and reach test. I've done this since being in Key Stage 3, that one. Activities that it'll be useful in, gymnastics, absolutely massive in gymnastics, dance, football, hockey, rugby. A lot of you who did the game sports used it. You said flexibility helps you to maybe reach for a ball or maybe prevent overstretching and getting an injury. Whereas people in gymnastics and dancing and even trampolining were saying it allowed you to get into a good position. Good flexibility would get into a better tuck position, allow you to do the moves, get more points for doing that. Next one, M, muscular endurance. So this is the ability of the muscles to keep going, basically contracting without a rest. Test for these ones, we're looking at the press-up test, possibly even a sit-up test as well, not sit and reach, sit-up test. Basically then, activities that need this, something that's going for a long period of time, okay, so nothing like a short sprint. Things like cross-country running, it's a long period of time. Invasion games such as football, rugby and hockey, again, they're popular, these ones, for this sort of component of fitness. Your muscles need to keep going, be it rugby, you're keeping running your legs, football, again, running your legs, but also, moving that upper body and stuff like that. Swimming as well, moving them arms. You need really good muscular endurance in your arms in swimming. Next one, muscular strength. The ability to exert force for a short period of time, so I mean a bit quick, okay? So the way to test this, we've got a hand grip test. You can see that one down in the bottom side of the key booklet. All the tests are on the key booklet here, but bottom left. Strength, needed in things like sprinting, because strength times speed gives you power, but also needed in things like rugby, and even they've put American football an example. Really good one with rugby is obviously if you're trying to tackle someone, bring them to the floor, you need to use muscular strength to make sure that person goes to the floor and you complete the tackle. Okay? Finally, on these ones, C stands for cardiovascular endurance, also known as stamina. Okay? This is the ability to continuously exercise without tiring. Great test for this one, multi-stage fitness test. Now be careful, as we saw when the OCR brought out their examples just before Christmas this year, they decided to take marks off people who were using the word bleep test, even though we've known it for that for years. Multi-stage fitness test, okay? So, sports it's useful in, it's got to be anything long distance runners, long distance cyclists, long distance swimmers. Okay, if you just write a swimmer or runner, you don't get the mark. You've got to put long distance in front of it to show you know it's for a long period of time. Invasion games as well, your football, your rugby, your hockey players, they need to keep going for a long period of time. The only difference between cardiovascular endurance and muscular endurance is basically the cardiac muscle, it's got its own type of endurance, that's all. Muscular endurance and cardiovascular endurance are very similar. Just one's for all the muscles in your body, whereas cardiovascular endurance is just for that one muscle, which is your heart. Okay? Next ones. These were skill related, these ones, so PC bras. Okay? P stands for power. Power is a combination of strength times speed. Well, we've already mentioned that one. So, a way to test for this is a standing jump test. Don't say long jump. It's not a long jump, okay? It is like a long jump, but you're going to stand still and you're going to jump as far as you can. You'll measure the distance. Game activities where it's needed then are things like your rugby again, football, triple jump, throwing events. We have some shot putters this year. They need power to really be able to explode and throw that shot far. Coordination, C. The ability of repeating a pattern sequence or moves with fluency and accuracy or doing more than one task at a time. So it could be running and dribbling a football, okay? It could be running and passing, just two things at once. So a way to test this is a wall throw test. Remember that one where we threw a ball against the wall, catch it in the opposite hand, go again, many times as you can in a minute without dropping it. Sports that need good coordination then, things like dance, karate, tennis, badminton, squash. That's hand-eye coordination, isn't it, when they're playing the shots in your tennis, badminton, watching the shuttle onto the racket. B for balance. This is the ability to keep your body mass or centre of mass over a base of support. So basically now my centre of mass here, it's over the base of my support of my legs. If I start to lean and drop it that way, I have to catch myself. I've moved my centre of mass. Okay? So balance. Standing start test was the one we used for that one. We go up onto your toe, foot against your calf, holding the position as long as you can. Sports that I need, and then it's self-explanatory. Good examples: gymnastics, dance. Gymnasts need that. I was watching at the weekend someone on that beam, okay, nearly fell off. They had to try and catch themselves. Or even at the end of that routine, they did a dismount, little step, whereas if they had good balance, they would have held the position and they would have got the marks, okay? Also, things like your rugby, netball, and hockey, you don't get pushed over, you can stay on your feet, it links in. R stands for reaction time. The time it takes you to initiate an action or a movement or make a decision to move, basically from a stimulus, okay, like a gun, or it could be a light to go off or a bleep, anything like that. Good test for this, ruler drop test. Sports which needed, sprinting, absolutely massive. Don't just put running, it's got to be sprinting, okay, 100 metre sprint. Usain Bolt needed good reaction time, he would train for that. Tennis, returning a shot, it's a drop shot, also you have to run into the net, play the shot. Football was a good one for this one. Pepe Reina used to do that. He did the reaction testing that they use on Soccer AM, and he was dead quick at doing it because he had to be able to react quick to obviously save shots when he's in goal. Agility, A. That is how quickly you can change direction under control and maintaining balance, power and speed. There's no good to be able to change direction but fall over, okay? You've got to be able to change direction quickly but stay under control. Good test for this one is the Illinois agility test. Remember that one, Illinois. If you remember that word, you remember agility test because it's the same word as what the component is. Illinois just means the place it was made. Sports that need this, netball, rugby, football, obviously to change direction when you're playing in them games, happens quite a lot. Volleyball is a key one there. Gymnastics as well, maybe on a floor routine, they've got to change the direction of where they're going. But not as common as something like your rugby and football, okay? Last one, speed. So the ability of the body to move quickly, and it doesn't just have to be your legs and a sprint, okay? It could be the speed of your arm coming through to play an overhead clear in badminton, all right? It could be the speed of your leg when you're passing or shooting a ball. However, the way to test this, 30-metre sprint test. Don't put the 100-metre sprint, it's not a test, that's an event, okay? 30-metre sprint test, use light gates to do it. Next, so sports it's good in, well it is good for a 100-metre sprinter, clearly they need speed. Football, basketball, netball again, and swimming, 50 to 100 metres. If you throw a swimmer, you don't get the mark. If you say a short event in swimming, 50 metres, which is the shortest one, 100-metre sprints, you'll get the mark for it. Anything to do with sprinting.